As Vice Chair of Retail Excellence Ireland, what do you think is this going to mean to businesses south of the border, particularly those in the border regions, Cavan, Monaghan, Donegal, when they see shops fully open across the border?
Yeah, it's usually frustrating that they remain closed while their neighbours only a few kilometres away get to open up. We've been pushing government, to even get the introduction of click and collect back in play, and it would make sense for it to be back in play in line with when Northern Ireland open up. So at least those retailers south of the border and closer to the border have the opportunity to keep their customer shopping with them, and especially SMEs it would mean an empty net to them. I don't know if it's going to be the government will be in a position to stop people travelling over the border to avail of society in some normal context at the end of April.
Yeah, because there might be the temptation for people to go get a haircut, do a bit of shopping, spend their money across the border that otherwise they would spend back here in the Republic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think you can stop people, essentially. Someone is always going to try it. But it's trying to give retailers now a roadmap, a clearer roadmap to what it's going to look like reopening, and so that it gives us some hope and gives us time to plan. There's also a bit here, Matt, on, there's a lot of retailers, just like myself, I'm in fashion, that are sitting on ageing stock that was spring, summer, and that window is going to close very, very quickly. So we really, really need to get essential retail open ASAP if retailers are going to have any
when you say
chance.
open, Jean, do you expect to be allowed to be fully open, given that we're so far behind the north when it comes to the vaccination rollout? Would you be happy enough to accept a sort of a halfway house of click and collect for a while, and then a few weeks later the reopening of shops, maybe with restrictions on the numbers who are allowed in at any one time?
Well, the policy shift has been quite slow when you look at the numbers and how they've been moving in the right direction. ICU beds, COVID numbers, government policy has been very lethargic in its reaction then to them, and have been exceptionally cautious, which I understand to a certain extent. But at this point now, retailers need to be 100% assured that we are going to get open again in May. That click and collect actually should be introduced now. It makes no sense at all. You can now travel within your county, but you can't pop into your local town centre to collect a bag at a door. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And, that's something that should have been considered as soon as possible, because it could be a lifeline for a small business that doesn't trade online, but they can still have some few transactions with their customers.
All right, thank you very much for joining us here on The Last Word at FM. Jean McCabe, Vice Chair of Retail Excellence.